Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Tasha.
Oh, you're not Gina.
I'm not Gina.
This is not Gina. This is Tasha. Tasha is our newest staff member, and she's assisting Gina in social media. So, Tasha, are you getting your feet wet in the ministry?
I've dived in. I'm in the deep end already.
She's in the deep end. She's in the deep end, and we already had her do some other work for us, so she's in the deep end, and we're happy that she's on board with us. Today, we're going to talk about proclaiming versus explaining. And Tasha, does that mean anything to you?
It's not very clear. I think you need to explain it.
Well, I can't, so that's the end of this. No. No, what I mean by this, proclaiming and explaining is, what I mean by this is proclaiming is the goal is just to get the truth out there. That's your whole goal, is just to get the truth, proclaim, preaching kind of. And then explaining is often trying to have people understand. You know, it's more of a teaching thing. So explaining is more aimed, let's say, at the head a little bit, where you're trying to get them to truly understand, or proclaiming, in a sense, is usually a little bit more emotional, more personal, and you're not really trying to teach as much as just to convey the truth. And I think you're witnessing, one of the things that many Christians do, there's a place for proclaiming and explaining in all witnessing. We have to do both. But I think especially when we're witnessing with people a lot, it really seems like a lot of Christians really are focused on explaining. I want this person to understand what we believe. And that's a worthy goal. But I think there's a time when we forget all about the explanation and just proclaim the truth. You know, if you look at Jesus, you know, a lot of times, and St. Paul too, a lot of times what they would just do is they would proclaim the truth, and it wasn't really a teaching thing. They were just proclaiming, and then people will walk away kind of with their head scratching, you know, a little bit, wondering what he was all saying. If we sometimes leave people wondering what exactly were we saying, that's not all bad. So, but I mean, how about you, Tasha? Do you think you aim more at explaining or proclaiming?
I'd like to say that I proclaim, but I think I lean more towards the explain.
Yeah, and again, neither one is wrong. I just think it needs to have a good balance. And so what I would just encourage you today sometimes, you know, is in a sense, bear your testimony. Just testify in a very personal way what Jesus has done for you. And don't worry always, do they understand? Like, do they understand the Trinity, or do they understand this or that? Just proclaim the truth. And it makes it so much easier for us too. And the other thing proclaiming does often, when you explain something, it kind of sets the table for them to debate.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But when you proclaim, it's hard to debate somebody's personal testimony. And so proclaiming sometimes makes us so we don't debate as much either. So that's our tip for today. You know, that's our tip. So
thanks for explaining that.
Oh,
rather than proclaiming.
yeah. See, I explained it and I did not proclaim it. No. So it was great to have you guys again. Here's Tasha again. You might see her every once in a while. When Gina is just being lazy and doesn't want to do this, no, not really.
On vacation.
Gina's on vacation, so no. But we're glad that we're with you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.